AOC did a live stream last night on Instagram, I believe it was. So.
And I immediately realized that I shouldn't have gone into the bathroom. I should have jumped in the closet. And so I opened the door when all of a sudden I hear that whoever was trying to get inside got into my office. And then I realized that it's too late. That it's too late for me to get into the closet. And so I go back in and I hide back in the bathroom behind the door. And then I just start to hear these yells of, "Where is she? Where is she?" And I just thought to myself, they got inside. And so I hide behind my door like this, like I'm here, and the bathroom door starts going like this, like the bathroom door is behind me, or rather in front of me, and I'm like this, and the door hinges right here, and I just hear, "Where is she? Where is she?" And this was the moment where I thought everything was over. And the weird thing about moments like these is that you lose all sense of time. In retrospect, maybe it was 4 seconds, maybe it was 5 seconds, maybe it was 10 seconds, maybe it was 1 second, I don't know. It felt like my brain was able to have so many thoughts in that moment, between these screams and these yells of, "Where is she? Where is she?" And so I go down and I thought I was going to die. And I had a lot of thoughts. You have a lot of thoughts, I think, when you're in a situation like that. And like also one of those thoughts that I had was, I just happened to, be a spiritual person and be raised in that context. And I really just felt like, if this is the plan for me, then people will be able to take it from here. I had a lot of thoughts, but that was the thought that I had about you all. I felt that if this was the journey that my life was taking, that I felt that things were going to be okay. And that, I had fulfilled my purpose. Anyways, sorry guys. So anyways, as I'm hiding in this bathroom, hearing these yells of these men, or just just one man going, "Where is she? Where is she?" I start to look through the door hinge to see if I can see anything. And there's like a door here and there's like another door here. So I'm like trying to look through two door hinges. And so I look through this door hinge and I see this white man in a black beanie just like open the door of my personal office and come inside the personal office and yell again, "Where is she?" And I have never been quieter in my entire life. I was just, I don't even know if I held my breath, but I was just, here behind there, and I just start sliding down. And then all of a sudden I hear my staffer G yell out, and he's like, hey, it's okay, come out. So I'm like, I don't know, so deeply rattled. I'm still processing the end of my life when I come out. And I come out, and this man is a Capitol Police officer. But the story doesn't end. It's a Capitol Police officer. There was no partner, was not yelling, Capitol Police, etc., etc. But then it didn't feel right. Because he was looking at me with a tremendous amount of anger and hostility. And things weren't adding up. Like, there was no partner there. And no one was yelling. He wasn't yelling like, this is Capitol Police, this is Capitol Police. And he was looking at me in all of this anger and hostility. And at first, in my brain and in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I just came from this super intense experience just now. Maybe I'm reading into this, right? Like, maybe I'm projecting, like something onto him that like, maybe I'm just seeing anger, but maybe he's not trying to be angry. But I talked to G, my legislative director, after the fact, and he said, no, I didn't know if he was there to help us or hurt us either. And G was actually like, this man came with so much hostility that G was sizing him up and didn't know if he was going to have to fight him. Like, that is how like aggressive the situation was in that moment. And we couldn't even tell, we couldn't read if like this was a good situation or a bad situation. It was so like, like so many other communities in this country, like just that presence doesn't necessarily give you a clear signal if you're safe or not. And so the situation did not feel okay. And then he just looks at me and yells at me, and he just go down and then go to this other building. I'm not gonna like name the specific building, but he basically says, go down and go to this building. But he just says the name of the building. Doesn't say anything else.
Welcome.
But we're so rattled in that moment. And the situation felt so volatile with this officer that I run over, I grab my bag, and we just start running over to that building. Now, mind you...
Fantastic. We got delights and desserts.
We weren't escorted. He didn't, like, come with us or follow us.
I do a rundown of the news. We go through videos, different articles. I try to give you a heads up of a very comprehensive view of what's going on. And to take phone calls, and we have a caller right now.
Or anything like that. So G and I just start running to this other building. We run down and we run to this other building. And it wasn't until we get to that building that we realize he didn't give us a specific location. He didn't give us a room. He didn't give us a place to go to. He just gave us, he said, go down. He told us to go to a certain level of a certain building. And that level of that building...
That's really weird because they were evacuating them out. You would think that like he would be leading them, but then again, like they were in complete disarray. But there was also some plan to gather all the Congress people into a hallway and gas them. Holy shit. And we have reason to believe that there were people inside of the Capitol Police that were working with the insurrectionists.
Was street level. And so we can hear, because the buildings were not secure yet, and this is around the time when the Capitol was being stormed, that we can like hear all of these rioters behind the glass of the doors, you know, and we have no specific location to go to. We're in the hallway. We're in like the Dunkin' Donuts of the basement, and we don't have any secure place to go.
And you couldn't even grab a fucking coffee. Shit. Now, unfortunately, the other headline that came out of this Instagram live that she did was when she compared her trauma from sexual assault, which is far too common. I hate that fucking virtually every female I know has experienced assault in one way or another. And that's appalling to me.
Is because these folks who tell us to move on, that it's not a big deal, that we should forget what's happened, or even telling us to apologize, these are the same tactics of abusers. And I'm a survivor of sexual assault. And I haven't told many people that in my life. But when we go through trauma compounds on each other. And so whether you had a negligent or, you know, a neglectful parent, or is because these folks who tell us to move on.
And she's right. I read an article by a soldier who was comparing like his trauma, how, you know, he was allowed to have PTSD, but we don't think about the village that he was bombing, the innocent kids that were fleeing for their lives and the trauma they felt. It was actually in defense of Representative Ilhan Omar, talking about growing up in war-torn Somalia and being able to come here and become a representative. Rep. Katie Porter gave another account of what happened to AOC during the Capitol siege.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez revealed that she was hiding in Congresswoman Katie Porter's office during the invasion of the Capitol.
Bust into Katie's office, and Katie's like having a cup of coffee, like I think the information's still trickling in, etc. And so I start, you know, ripping through Katie's office like a mad woman.
Now I'm trying to piece this together because they were actually on the House floor. And we heard the rioters break in. So did they just all break off and go to their individual offices? This doesn't actually make sense to me. Because I would have thought that they would have been escorted off of the House floor. Like, we saw a video of some of them ducking for cover, like on the balcony of the House. So I'm not exactly sure the timeline she's describing.
You know, poor Katie, I'm like opening every closet. I'm opening every nook. I'm opening like every cranny, looking for where I'm going to hide when they get into this office.
And Congresswoman Katie Porter is back with us. And I just want to listen to a bit more of what Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez says about what it felt like when she finally did choose her hiding place. Let's listen to this.
I hide back in the bathroom behind the door. And then I just start to hear these yells of,
okay, so this is the part we just watched.
Where is she?
So she was in Katie's office.
And
Representative Porter.
I just thought to myself, they got inside. It felt like
I certainly do not know her well enough
my
to
brain
be
was
on a
able
first
to
name
have
basis.
so many thoughts in that moment, between these screams and these yells of, where is she? Where is she? And so I go down and I thought I was going to die.
Congresswoman Porter, What was that like for you? And did you know just how deep Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez's fears were at that time?
Well, at first she saw me, and we waved. I went into my office, and a couple seconds later, she knocked and she said, could we come in? And I said, of course. And she began to, her staffer was trying to describe what had happened. And Alex is really usually like unfailingly polite and very personable. And she wasn't even really talking to me. She was opening up doors.
So I'm wondering, okay, so they're trying to break the doors down of the Capitol. And then, I guess the Capitol Police ushered the Senate, resigned first. I didn't even know what happened to the Senate. We had the split screen up here on the stream. I didn't even know why the Senate wasn't still going. But the House was still going. So I assume they just ushered everybody out and told them to go to their offices and hunker down. Uh-oh. Back to my girlfriend, Representative Katie Porter.
Mom, I think were just really powerful for me was when she said, I was saying, well, don't worry, I'm a mom, I'm calm, I've got everything here we need. We could live for a month in this office. And she said, I just hope I get to be a mom. I hope I don't die today.
She's got snacks, she's got wipes, she's got disinfectant. She's got anything you could need right there in the office.
And the second thing is she was wearing heels. And I remember her
that sounds like a lot of fun.
I was wearing flats. And I remember her saying to me, I knew I shouldn't have worn heels. How am I going to run? And we went and we found her a pair of sneakers to wear from one of my staffers so that she could run if she needed to literally run for her life.